Good day, students. Advocate Bapu Sahib Hunde, High School in Avla, welcomes you back again. Myself, Mrs. Naira Sheikh, your English 1 teacher, has come up with a new video for you. Our today's topic is lesson number 27, The Dreadful Guest. We'll begin with our sight reading words now. The first word is dreadful. D-R-E-A-D, dread, F-U-L, full, dreadful. Second word, Russia. R-U-S-S-I-A, Russia. Third word, merchants. MERCHANTS, merchants. Fourth word, warriors. WARRIORS, warriors. Fifth word, banquet. BANQUET, banquet. Sixth word, guest. GUESTS, guest. Seventh word, horrible. HORRIBLE, horrible. Eighth word, dragon. DRAGON, dragon. 10th word, knives. KNIVES, knives. 11th word, creature. CREATURE, creature. 12th word, spoiled sports. SPOIL, spoil. SPORTS, sports. Spoiled sports. 13th word, straight. STRAIGHT, straight. 14th word, impolite. IMPOLITE, polite. Impolite. 15th word, platters. PLATTERS, platters. 16th word, gobble. GOBBLE, gobble. 17th word, choke. CHOKE, choke. 18th word, greedily. GREEDILY, greedily. 19th word, puffed. PUFFED, puffed. 20th word, roared. ROARED, roared. 21st word, sprang. SPRANG, sprang. 22nd word, Ivan. IVAN, Ivan. 23rd word, intelligent. INTELLIGENT, intelligent. 24th word, wicked. WICKED, wicked. 25th word, tricking. TRICKING, tricking. And the last word is the 26th word, lightning. LIGHT, light. NING, lightning. We'll now move ahead towards our meaning, students. The first meaning is grand. Now, what do you mean by the word grand? Grand means impressive. When you're impressed with someone or with a function, you say the function has been done very grandly. The second word is warriors. Warriors mean soldiers. Third word, banquet. A banquet means a feast. When you throw a large feast, a big party, it's called as a banquet. Fourth word, creature. Creature is an animal as distinct from a human being. Fifth word is scared. Scared means afraid. When you're afraid of someone or afraid of something, you say that you're scared. Sixth one, platters. Platters mean a large flat dish or a plate used for serving food. Seventh word is greedily. Greedily is in a way that shows an excessive desire or appetite for food. When you eat food in a hurry or you take a large amount of food to eat together, it's known as you're greedy. That means you're having a greed. Eighth one is sprang. Sprang means move or to jump suddenly or rapidly upwards or forwards. Ninth one, intelligent. Intelligent means clever. 10th one, tricking. Tricking means cunningly deceive or to outwit. 11th one, fumes. Fumes is an amount of gas or vapor that smells strongly or is dangerous for us to inhale. When you inhale some sort of a vapor or some sort of a gas that is dangerous for you, it is known as fumes. Now we begin with our chapter, students. The dreadful guest. How would it be, students, if you had a guest who looks like this? So scary, So frightening. The very thought of it is scaring, right? So now we're going to learn this chapter where in this lesson we will see that this guest, when he enters in a banquet, in a large feast, what the scenario was going to be. So let's start now. Once upon a time, the king of Russia decided to hold a grand feast. He invited princes, rich merchants, brave warriors, and all the important people in his kingdom. So, in a feast that was held, the king of Russia, who was at that time, he held this feast and he invited all the big people of the town, all the princes and all the kings of all the neighboring kingdoms. Even the merchants and the brave warriors were also invited for it. On the night of the feast, the king and the guest sat together at a long table in a banquet hall. They talked and laughed, and everyone was happy. So, in a banquet hall, all the guests were sitting across the table for their meal, and they were enjoying themselves having their meal, talking and laughing and having. Suddenly, a huge animal burst into the hall. It was a horrible looking dragon. It was as tall as a tree and as broad as a house, with teeth like spikes and claws like knives. So, all of a sudden, when everyone was enjoying themselves having their meal, laughing and fooling around and enjoying their meal, all of a sudden, who came inside the hall, students? Yes, it was this frightful dragon that entered into the hall. Now, how was the dragon? Was he small? No. He was as tall as a tree. We have all seen trees, right? So, as tall as a tree he was, and as broad as a house. So, as we have a house that we live in, that broad a dragon was. So, imagine how scary he would be looking with teeth like spikes. So, his teeth were like spikes. You can see his body here, his neck. You can see the thorny part of his neck. The same way his teeth were filled with spikes. And his claws were like knives. So he had claws that were like knives, as sharp as knife. As you can see, a knife is used to cut things, to cut vegetables, fruits. The same way, the sharpness of the knife is compared to his claws. So think how scary he is. An image here of see how the dragon has entered. And all the people, all the kings, the prince and the princesses, the merchants, everyone is all afraid of this dragon. So horrible he is to look at. See his teeth, his spikes. Aren't they frightening? They are. His skin was hard and scaly, and his eyes were red. Red hot flames shot forth from his mouth, and black smoke from his nostrils. Now, this dragon was also a very mean creature. He loved to be a spoil sport and a killjoy. So, this frightening dragon had full body filled with scales. And when he used to open his mouth, students, there used to be hot flames. You can see in the image here hot flames coming out from his mouth. And from his nostrils, there used to be black smoke coming out. So, imagine the heat he used to remove out from his body when he used to be angry. Now, this dragon, he was also mean and he was a spoiled sport. A spoiled sport is a person, or something that does not like to see anyone having fun and enjoying. He walked straight to the head of the table and pushed himself between the king and the queen. Everyone stopped talking. So, the moment he entered inside, he rushed towards the king and the queen and he sat in between them. So, think how afraid they might be looking at this big, huge dragon next to them. Everyone stopped talking. Everyone was scared. Well, not everyone. The brave warrior Ivan was not afraid of dragons. So, among all these people who were sitting over there between the king and the queen, there was one person who was very brave. Now, who was that person, students? Yes, it was Ivan the warrior. He was a very, very brave person and he was not at all afraid of the dragons. What a rude, impolite creature you are, he said angrily. So, looking at this misbehavior of the dragon, he got very irritated. And he said, how mean could you be? You can't see anyone happy? You're all enjoying yourself, and you have come here now? In anger. Just then the servants brought in the food and set the platters on the table. But before they had a chance to serve the food, the king to the king and the queen and the guest, the dragon began to gobble up everything. So while this conversation was going on between the dragon and Ivan, just then the servant came inside and he had the platter filled with food. But before he could get a chance of serving the king, the queen, and all the people, the guests who were sitting down there, before that, this stupid dragon began to gobble up. That means eat everything that was kept on the platter hurriedly. The king and the queen did not know what to do. Now, looking at this, they were scared, but they did not have the guts or they did not have the courage to speak up to the dragon and ask him why is he behaving in this manner. They were afraid. Nobody could stop the dragon, but Ivan spoke up again. Nobody has ever taught you any manners? I can see, he said. I hope you choke on the food you are gobbling up so greedily. Now, this was more than that the dragon could stand. So, again, while he was gobbling up all this food, again Ivan spoke up and he said that no one has taught you any manners. Don't you know how to eat food also or how to behave? And he also commented and said, I hope that you choke up. That means you get choked while you are eating food so fast. Now, the comment that was given by Ivan was not easy for the dragon to digest. He got very angry. He puffed out fire and sprang to his feet. I dare you to come out and fight with me, Ivan. He roared. Are you ready? Of course, said Ivan. So now, hearing this, what did he do? The dragon, in irritation, he jumped up from his place and he sprang up. That means he jumped upside and he started removing fire from his mouth in anger. And he started challenging Ivan and saying, are you ready to fight with me? You're speaking to me so badly. Come and fight. Let's see who wins. What have you done, Ivan? Said the king. Let's put up with this dragon for some more time. You cannot fight a dragon. It will burn you and kill you in no time. So the king, looking at Ivan speaking so fast and speaking so courageously and bravely, facing the dragon, the king was afraid. And he said, don't do this. We can put up with some more time. We can wait for some more time till the dragon cools down and he makes his thoughts to go away from here. Don't have a fight with the dragon. He can eat you, he can burn you and finish you off. But Ivan was not afraid. He knew the dragons were dreadful but not intelligent. So Ivan had some knowledge about the dragons and he was knowing that the dragons are dreadful. That means they're scary, they're frightening, but they're not intelligent. They're not as clever as human beings are. He was sure he could find a way of killing the dragon. Everyone walked out to the palace courtyard. The dragon and the brave warrior faced each other. The dragon smiled, a very mean smile and a wicked smile. So when you have confidence or overconfidence that there is no value of the other person opposite to you, that time we give a sort of a cunning or a wicked smile. So the dragon also had this sort of overconfidence that Ivan was nothing compared to him, as he was so huge, so mighty. He thought that Ivan is no one compared to him. Now let's see what happens ahead. Who wins? Now, how shall I kill you, you silly fool? He asked Ivan. So now in his overconfidence, he knew that there is no way that I would lose. The dragon was sure of that he could not be losing any time. So he was making fun of Ivan and saying, you're so silly that you came in an open battle along with me. Now I can kill you. I can do anything with you. Shall I burn you to death? Shall I smother you with my fumes? It's better still, shall I tear you up with my knife claws? Or shall I eat you up with my spiked teeth? So he was giving a choice to Ivan as to how he would like to die. How should I kill you? In what manner would you prefer to die? Would you like to be smothered up with fumes? Or should I tear you with my knife claws? Or should I use my claws to tear you apart? In the meanwhile, however, the clever Ivan had thought of a way of tricking the wicked creature. Now, as I said earlier, students, human beings are much more clever compared to the dragons. So, in the same way, Ivan had already got a plan into his mind now. Let's see what plan he thought about. He folded his arms on his chest and said in a clear voice, "Now look here, dragon, when you dared me to fight you, I agreed readily. I thought it would be a fight." So what plan did he make? He said that when you asked me, I immediately said yes to have a fight with you in an open battle, and I thought it would be a healthy fight. But the dragon was as stupid as Ivan thought him to be. He turned his head to see what Ivan was pointing up towards. Quick as a flash of lightning, Ivan drew his sword and cut off the dragon's head. "There," he said, "we won't have to put up with this dreadful guest ever again." So the Ivan was just waiting for a chance to distract the dragon. And the moment he pointed towards the other direction and said, "I thought you would be coming alone to have a fight with me, but you are so scared." Looking at him pointing in that direction, immediately the dragon turned to see what he was pointing out at. And what did Ivan do, students? Yes, Ivan took his sword in his hand, and as the flash of lightning would go as fast as the flash of lightning, in the same way, Ivan took his sword and cut off the dragon's head. And finally, now everyone did not have to put up with this sort of a dreadful guest ever again. Students, I hope you understood this chapter and also liked it. So, now it's time to give you a big thank you for watching this video, and I would request once again everyone who have not yet subscribed to our channel to kindly do so, as it will help you to avail further notifications of our upcoming videos. Thank you and have a nice day.